welcome to Good Follow, presented by DraftKings. I am Ros. She is Logan Hackett. I am still in France. I'm in Cannes, in the French Riviera. Bonjour, bonsoir, ça va? We already have established in our episode earlier this week that Logan speaks French. We have a special guest for today's show. And amongst her many talents, I wonder if speaking another language, including French, is one of those. Coming to the show today is our girl, Meadowlark's very own Lucy Rohden.
Hi,
Bonjour.
guys.
Bonjour.
Bad news. I went to school in the South, so I can barely speak proper English. We're pushing that one right now. I'm fluent in redneck if you want that, but outside of that, we don't got much else.
Oh boy, all dialects, I guess, welcome. But no pressure, Lucy. You know, Logan's just an overachiever. How you doing, girl?
Well, I'm feeling a little inadequate right now, but outside of that, great.
No, you're crushing it. You always are. And you know, one of the things we're excited to have you for is a full show here today. Let me take you guys, everyone watching, through the menu. We are diving into hot topics, okay? Some of them were sent in from the fans even. So here are the hot topics and questions. Who's the better point guard, Paige Bueckers or Caitlin Clark? Is Allisha Gray in the MVP race? The answer is duh, but we're gonna get into why. What's Angel Reese's secret weapon? Ooh. And who should take over in Dallas? Is Jewell Loyd a poor fit for the Aces?
And just a reminder to everyone, we now drop 2 episodes every single week. You can catch us on Tuesdays and Thursdays on YouTube or wherever else you get your podcasts. But Roz, Lucy, are you ready to get into the hot fire flames takes?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right. So starting with the one that you led with, Roz, right out the gate, super hot. Paige versus Caitlin. Since going first overall in both of their respective draft classes, the comparisons between them have been nonstop. I feel like I see one every single day. But this weekend, Paige joined Caitlin as the only rookies to achieve 35 plus points and 5 plus three-pointer made stat line in their rookie seasons. So hot topic number 1, who in the world is the better point guard, Paige or Caitlin Clark?
Man, you guys came out smoking. You came out steaming. This is like the most intense appetizer ever. What? This is just I love how crazy we are as sports fans, that we're like, we have 2 of the greatest basketball players playing right now and we get to enjoy it. And we're like, let's make this miserable. Let's fight each other over it. I obviously am a very biased individual when it comes to this. I'm a very proud Iowa grad, so anytime you put an Iowa player or any other player against each other, I'm like, I know what I got to do. I think that right now Caitlin is better, but it's also crazy because we're having this conversation like a month into Paige's career. I just think they both do what they're like expertise is so well. Where like I think that Paige is a much better defender than Caitlin is, but Caitlin has the best vision that I've ever seen, where it is hard to compare them in a weird sense. Where right now I'm going to go with Caitlin, but I think there's a big sort of asterisk with the fact that, like, Paige, my girl, I'm so sorry for the situation you're in. I really am. And I hope that you get a little extra support, a little extra love, a little extra just community around you, where like we've already sort of seen that from like Caitlin's perspective, where last year she did have some really good surrounding pieces. I don't want that to seem like it wasn't true, but it's gotten better and she has gotten better through that. So right now I'm going to go Caitlin, because like, why would I choose against the all-time leader for single season assist record just her second season in? That's kind of crazy.
Right. No, I agree with so many of the points that you made, Lucy. First of all, like, I think we're looking at 2 point guards who are going to be 2 of the top talents in the game over the next decade. And I do think it's hard to compare Paige right now. She's literally just adjusting to the WNBA. However, that said, I did try to like make a little list of like, okay, how do these 2 compare? And I think overall, Caitlin is the better player right now. Right now. Doesn't mean that Paige doesn't, grow into, she's a lot of growth to do. And so does Caitlin, by the way. But interestingly enough, like they're the same age, because think about all the time that Paige missed as well. They're the same height. I think Caitlin's a little bit stronger. Caitlin averages handedly more assists, 9 versus 6. But Paige is more efficient in shooting, in taking care of the ball. Caitlin leads the league in assists, leads the league in turnovers. Maybe her only kryptonite is that she just throw that thing away. But I think it comes with the territory a little bit in the way sometimes the way that she's like willing to take risks when they pay off, it's big, you know? They both, Caitlin rebounds more, she assists more. And I think that also has to do with one, maybe being on a better team, but also having more experience. Here's where I say the two of them really differentiate themselves. For Caitlin, it's her pace of play. It's the range in which she shoots threes. It's the frequency of creation for other players, especially out of screens, and it's what she does off the bounce. In no way whatsoever can Paige Bueckers compare to the dominant play in those areas I just mentioned from Caitlin Clark. Those are differentiators. On the other side, for Paige, in this young start of her career, her efficiency stands out to me. She shoots the ball from three and from the field very well for a guard. Her pull-up mid-range jumper is really nice. Her vision and decisions, I think she does a nice job there, and she's got a nice shooting ability. She needs more strength. She's less to the rim at this point of her career than Caitlin is, but mind you, Caitlin put on a lot of straight in the offseason. And to your point too, I agree. Defensively, Paige is a better defender already and in potential because she's so long and she'll get deflection, she'll get steals, she'll block a shot. She did that on the college level. And in the pros, I think in time and with more work in the weight room, she could be a really strong defender. So that was me like trying to put pen to paper and make a comparison. But my answer is just right now, Caitlin Clark is an overall better player than Paige, and she has more experience too.
I completely have to agree with the both of y'all. I mean, no notes. Y'all said it all right there. And I think maybe this time next year we can have a different conversation. Lucy, as you mentioned, her being in Dallas is just not ideal. I even went back to check, like, oh, how did they do without her? And they're just L. And I was like, all right. So it's not really making that big of a difference there. But I do want to move on to our next one, which is a little of an MVP debate. Allisha Gray has been absolutely balling out and is one of three guards averaging over 20 points this season, alongside Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Plum. And she also recorded a career high of 32 points against the Mystics recently. So, hot topic number 2, does Allisha Gray have an MVP case?
My hot take is that this isn't a hot topic at all. What do you mean? You've scored in double figures every game this season. You're second in the league in scoring. You should automatically be in the MVP race. It's crazy that we're even having to sit here and campaign for it. You should be there. I like to think that I'm breakout. I did not see this coming for the Dream this year. 8-3 as of the time of us recording. That is insane. That is so much better than what I expected, and all of that is Allisha. So like, yeah, you should be in the MVP race. Like it's almost like silly. And like she finally got the 30 against the Mystics, 32, like so excited. I've been waiting for 30 for a long time. Like I'm sorry. I don't even know why we're like duh. Yes. What do you mean?
Like, duh. Like, yeah. I mean, I completely agree, Lucy. Like what she said. The only thing I'll add on to that is, with the Dream doing so well too, they're currently sitting at third in the standings. Sometimes we have like the narrative aspect of it, like how well is the team doing? The team is supporting her MVP case. And also, how valuable are you to your team? Like if there's no Allisha Gray, the Atlanta Dream are not sitting at third. Like it's the consistency of the way that she's stepping up. And you've also got to point out how well Ryan Howard is playing. The two of them together are number 1 and number 3 in the league for threes made. And the way that the two of them are just setting the tone from the 3-point line, like that changes everything that's possible for the Dream as far as it's their ability to drive and have spacing and all the things. And actually, I was looking at the numbers. Look, so Leash averages more points than Ryan, like 4 more points per game, but they average about the same amount of assists, 4.5. That's quite a bit of playmaking for teammates, by the way. They average about the same amount of steals. They're active defensively, about 1.5. I would say where Ryan differentiates is just, she's really often getting the assignment of the other team's best player. But that's not to say, Leash is a great defender too. So while we're having a conversation, the answer is yes. Allisha Gray has an MVP case, but Ryan Howard is also really important and just needs to be shouted out as well in this discussion.
I feel like the race for all of the awards are going to be incredibly tight this year. And even just thinking about MVP, I think the reason why it could be so foreign to some people is you think about Fee and Caitlin up there, and Alicia's kind of flying under the radar. I mean, her name is getting bigger now, but a lot of people weren't looking out for her to make those big plays. So I definitely want to see her up there, though. And the last one that we have is Angel Reese. She just had her first ever triple double in a victory over Connecticut Sun. And a lot of people have been commenting on how her vision seems to improve, and same with her decision making. But while she is known for, I mean, being the rebound Barbie, she quoted herself saying that she is a passing big. The quote is, "I've been kind of a passer all my career. I came out of high school as the number one wing, and I'm trying to get back to that, trying to get back to being super versatile." So hot take number 3 is Angel Reese's passing her secret weapon and the real key to the Sky's success.
I mean, yes. Once again, I'm like, is this a hot take? Because like it feels kind of like an obvious yes to me. Where it's not a coincidence that the Sky finally get a win when Angel is passing the way that she does. Something that she posted on Instagram was just her, her game fit and all her picks from the game. And I understand now, which was in reference to her coach saying that she needs to be like very, very versatile. She needs to completely sort of be not just the rebound Barbie and just all basketball by you Barbie. And she said, I didn't understand it at first, and now I get it. And that was her I understand now. And we saw that. She had 11 assists to 6 different players. 4 other players for the Sky scored in double figures. Like when Angel is able to just kind of like make her game a little more spread out, both literally in the sense of like doing more and actually spreading out on the court, it is amazing how she can just completely change the dynamic of the Sky, because with the way she rebounds, to be able to move the ball out like that, it's just like it opens up an entire different level of offense for the Sky, which is something that they need. It's very much like, girl, yes, do this. Why haven't we been doing this before? And like it is such a good fit for her and for the Sky that like if she continues to play like that, it's going to change everything.
Yeah. To illustrate your point about the way she's manufacturing these assists, we actually have some highlights of Angel Reese's passing out of that triple double. Let's see those assists that she had, those 11 assists. I mean, so much good stuff happens when Angel is getting the ball on the move, off the bounce. She made good decisions. She didn't get in too deep. She avoided charges. The defense converged, and she made a quick pass like a point guard would. It seems like adding space and getting her on the move is the right thing to do here, and allowing her to make a good decision. And so in many ways, like this could be the secret sauce. Yeah, I think Angel's secret sauce overall is her rebounding. Like that is the secret sauce. That is what she is so much better than any other player in the league, possibly over the course of time in the league. Like she is a generational rebounder. But if you add passing, and don't forget, she's been empowered and been working very hard on her shooting, and she's taken 3-point shots. You put all of that together, plus the potential that she has, the work ethic, the vision for this is really amazing. The only other ingredient I would put in there is time. It takes time. And it's going to be hard on Angel because she's going to see swarming defenses, collapses, and against much better teams than the Sun. And it's going to just take continued growth. And she's going to be that. Because I've said this in other episodes, like, I have a feeling Angel's one of those people, like, it's just what I'm observing about her. When she puts her mind to something, she does it.
I think when she can learn to fully turn off the tunnel vision towards the board, it is going to be insane. Because think about it, the Angel that we've known and seen for the past 4 or 5 years, it's literally tunnel vision at that net. And she's learning to turn it off, and it can't be easy. Definitely, you're doing something so repetitively. But I'm so excited to see where she can go from here. But y'all, coming up, we have some hot topics that were submitted by y'all. So we'll be right back.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to Good Follow. Today's episode is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Lucy's like, what's going on here?
Logan, you should say that in French next time.
Can you?
La reine, et toi? No, that doesn't make sense. Reine and toi are in there. I know that for sure.
You know what?
Beautiful.
Either way, I didn't even know what she said, but I'm impressed.
I would have believed you no matter what you said.
Oui, oui. For those of you who are just joining us, I'm in France and, but the show must go on. And right now we're at the part of the show where for our hot topics, we asked you, the fans on social media, what topics did you want us to hit? And you guys definitely did not disappoint. Y'all can't, some of you guys are messy, by the way. Some of y'all are messy, but we did take some of your input for hot topics you'd like to see discussed. Logan, take it away.
Actually, we're going to start with maybe the one of the messiest because I feel like this weekend was pretty messy in the W, but one of the messiest moments, y'all have probably seen it online. After getting into a heated discussion with Dejanay Carrington and blowing a 10 or more point lead to the Aces in the final minutes of the game, fans are speculating that head coach Chris Koklanis, aka WNBA Jesus, aka Yogi Man, he has a lot of nicknames at this point, has officially lost the locker room. A lot of people don't like him, and they're calling for Nola Henry to take over the wings. So, hot topic from at Hannah Kaha, Nola Henry should take over in Dallas.
I think Dallas needs a lot. Maybe a prayer. Maybe like I don't even know at this point. I'm always like a firm in any sport. Like you got to give time. You got to give a little bit of time because things are going to like if you're bringing in a new coach, if you're bringing in a new players, if you're starting a new system, there needs to be an adjustment period. However, the wings were so bad that I'm like, I don't even know if I believe this anymore. I don't even know. I'm like looking back and be like, are my values changing because of how bad they are? I think that you need to give it a little extra time, but like clearly the vibes are off. I do think the locker room has been lost. You have one win on the season and you got the #1 overall pick who has lived up to expectations. I understand that Paige had a concussion. I totally get that. But like when she's dropping 35 and you're not competing at all, like, I don't know. My answer is maybe. My answer is we should consider it.
Like, what's up in Dallas? What's going on in Dallas? Like, they've always had, like, recently have had now a couple of seasons where there's, whispering about what's happening in their locker room and they just can't get out the funk, Think about players who are returners there, like, they're probably just tired of losing at this point. It's hard to build morale and culture and all of that. However, there's a ton of new faces. The team may not be as talented in some ways as other rosters. It's a new coach, it's a new system, it's the beginning of the season. And the hot topic is not even like, is Coach Koklanis like having a hard start? The hot topic is, should Nola Henry take over? Shout out to Nola, by the way, who did her big one at Unrivaled in Miami and was awarded rightfully so. But I think at this early point in the season, calling for a head coach's head, I think more patience is needed. And it was already a tough situation for Dallas to begin with, and it takes some time to dig out of that.
Hey, the good news is, what was it, 2020? The Liberty had a 2-20 season record. So, I mean, they only need one win to tie that, and 2 more wins, they're beating that. And then, hey, you never know, maybe they can win a championship in the next few years. It might be looking good for them. But
things happen fast for fast.
Exactly. On to the next fan question. Jewell Loyd joined the Aces this season, and there was a lot of high expectations after she had a strong 10 seasons in Seattle. However, fans are saying that her shooting efficiency has gone down to a career low, and the team is just struggling all around with bench depth since losing Kelsey Plum. So, hot topic from Hoosier Gator. Is Jewell Loyd actually a poor fit for the Aces?
This one is one that I really kind of struggled with my answer because I feel a lot of ways. I feel like really the big problem is the Aces right now and not so much Jewell Loyd. I mean, you're dead last in the league in assists. This is a team that has had such a solidified identity for the past few years that just feels kind of out of it. But at the same time, like despite two strong performances from Jewell for the last two games, before that, it was deeply unpleasant. Like when you're in a situation where Becky Hammond is coming out and saying, Jewell has actually asked if she can be moved to the bench so she can come off. Like that's, you don't want to hear that, especially with how much money you're paying. Like that's never a good sign. And so I do think that like the aces are kind of the root of the problem right now because everything is just off there. It just doesn't really seem right. But also at the same time, like Jewell's field goal percentage has dropped pretty steadily over the last few years. Like it's kind of a straight slope there. So I don't. This is a weird one where I think the answer is kind of the aces are also the problem and Jewell Loyd. Like, so maybe then, yeah, I guess that does answer the question. Yeah, it is a bad fit. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah. No, it's no secret. This is the cat is out the bag on this one. As far as Jewell's decline in efficiency, especially over the last 3 seasons, and also the amount of volume that she takes for shots. I agree with you overall. I'm not ready to at all point any fingers at one player and say, oh, Jewell's got an issue here. I think there's something that needs to be worked on with Jewell, but I agree. Like aces on a whole, I've said this before, it's almost like they're a shell of themselves, and they've had a lot of really key ingredients over the course of years now, like erode away, whether that was like players or coaches. And as much as that like focal group can be great, it's still a lot of the same questions for them. So with Jewell, I just feel like coming off the bench isn't necessarily a bad thing. I understand your concept of like, do you want to hear someone who's supposed to be a star asking for that? Sometimes you can be better featured in the second unit. Like you might have a better chance to get set up the way you need to, or have the ball in your hands more, or it goes through Jewell first versus perhaps like it goes through Asia first, or, Chelsea Gray is going to have the ball to start for a while. But there should be enough shots to go around in that starting lineup. First of all, when Kia Stokes is in there, she's not even taking a shot. So literally, she does not take a shot. So there should be enough shots to go around. And it's not like somebody is so ball dominant in that Aces lineup. So I think that needs to work. And then another thing I'll bring up is that when we were talking about Gold Mamba and like she was part of championship winning Seattle Storm teams, don't forget she was sitting alongside Sue Bird, Brianna Stewart. These are two of the greatest players in the history of the game. They're both in the conversation for GOAT of all time, And that's not to take anything away, but it's to say that there was a lot of support there. Same thing. There's 4 Olympians on the Aces, but I think that the Aces need more from every single player on that team to make it work.
I feel like they're in a way failing to adapt to change and just keep on trying to replicate those championship seasons that they had, but they're losing the pieces and not doing anything to kind of bring it back or I guess adapt to the change. But I really want to see them do well. With that said, I almost feel like next year would kind of be a rebuild year for them because it's hard to chase that type of success, but there are players who can allow you to do so, and they just need to find the right ones. But y'all, this was so much fun doing all of these hot topics and hot takes. I would love to do it again. And Lucy, thank you so much for coming on. We love having you here. And y'all, if we do it again, we're going to post on our socials. So make sure to look out for it.
All right, guys. It was so fun having you on, Lucy. Please come back every time you come. You're fabulous.
Stop. Thank you.
So shout out to Lucy Rohden, Meadowlark family coming on the show. That's going to do it for this episode of Good Follow, which is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. And for all of you, we will be back next week. As always, we are 2 times a week now, Tuesdays and Thursdays. We drop no matter where in the world we are. We're bringing the latest in women's sports and women's basketball and all the things to you. Make sure you subscribe, comment, like. We take all the fan engagement. We bring it on. Follow Good Follow Show, all the socials, and we'll catch you next week. She's Lucy. She's Logan. I'm Roz. We're out.
Bye, y'all.